Our medical curriculum is changing. After more than 20 years, it is changing. It is going to affect not only the 2019 batch but also the 2018 batch as well. With the shift of exam pattern from one-liner questions to the clinical case history based clinical vignette questions, one has to implement the CBME curriculum into our day-to-day study and life. In this video, I am going to talk about the CBME curriculum, how is it different from the old curriculum and how to implement this in our day-to-day studies. Also, I am going to talk about how to approach anatomy, physiology and biochemistry for the first years for exams. This is Abhijit and you are watching Abhijit Archives. So, what exactly is a CBME curriculum? As the definition says, it is a learner-centric, patient-centric, gender-sensitive, outcome-oriented, environmental approach which results in an outcome-driven curriculum. Wow! Did you get anything? Me neither. So, let's ask the expert. I would like to invite our today's special guest, Dr. Rajesh Jambulkar sir, to enlighten us about the CBME curriculum.
So basically CBME is competency based medical education. In this CBME, we change our aspects from the knowledge based curriculum towards the competency based. Along with knowledge, it includes your communication skills, how to deal with the patient and your attitude. Okay. And in this CBME syllabus, we included the early clinical exposure, means exposure to the patient, exposure to the clinical scenario before going to the posting, how patient complains or how patient look likes. This is the exposure to first year students to that clinical condition or clinical case. Then in this CBME curriculum, there is inclusion of small group discussions. Okay. So a discussion will improve your knowledge, improve your understanding, that will solve your queries. So it is also helpful. So in this new curriculum, there is small group discussion, early clinical exposure. Then it includes the laboratory interpretation of lab reports. Then it will give the idea about the clinical cases related to that different topic. If you are reading the carbohydrate, then you must know about what is diabetes. How many types of diabetes are there, diabetic ketoacidosis, you must know about the galactosemia, you must know about the fructose intolerance, lactase deficiency or lactose intolerance, you must know about the glycogen storage disorders, how these disorders are linked with the other metabolic disorders such as gout. There is hyperuricemia in von Gog's disease. So linkage between these two systems or these two topics. And there is also horizontal integration and vertical integration included in this CBME syllabus, means how this topic is related with the physiology and how it is related with the anatomy in horizontal integration, while in vertical integration how it is related with the pathology, how it is related with the medicine and surgery. So integration is also included, means horizontal and vertical integration is also included in the CBME syllabus. So this CBME pattern is to increase the standard of Indian medical graduate. So how it differs from the old syllabus? Old syllabus was knowledge based, but this new syllabus is application based. How you will apply this knowledge to the patient, how you will increase your skills to treat that patient or to manage that condition. First, you download the MCI competencies, go through that competencies, then download your university syllabus according to the MCI competencies, go syllabus wise. When you start with that topic, just note down the clinical cases related with that topic. Suppose when you are reading about the enzyme topic, just note down the clinical cases at the top of the start page. Just note down the jaundice, difference between hepatocellular and obstructive jaundice, pattern of enzyme in bone diseases, pattern of enzymes in the liver diseases, then note down about the enzymes raised in the myocardial infarction, enzyme pattern in acute pancreatitis, then go with the important topics, for example classification, then mechanism, factors affecting, the inhibitors, the therapeutic drugs which are useful in the treatment of various diseases, the competitive inhibitors. So this is the clinical aspect of this enzyme topic. Then go with the important topics, then read the important questions of that topic. Whether it is offline or online, if you are in contact with your teachers, you will get it easy. I already told that just download your syllabus, then go syllabus wise, take out the notes from your seniors, take out the notes from your teacher and ask about what are the important questions from this topic, what are the important clinical cases from this topic. Then go with that topic first, followed by the other topics. There are two papers, paper 1, paper 2 of 100 marks each. According to MAHS pattern, there are 20 MCQs, of which 4 MCQs are clinical based. 11 brief answer question, only enumerate type question, 2 marks question. You have to solve 10 out of 11, so 10 BAQs are there, 2 marks question. Then 8 SAQs are there, 5 marks question. And of these 8 SAQs, 2 SAQs are based on the clinical conditions, okay, and 1 will be on the attitude, ethics and communication, how to deal with the patient, okay, patient-doctor relationship. So 1 question on this, and 2 LAQs, out of 3 you have to solve 2 LAQs. So 2 LAQs, 8 SAQs and 10 BAQs, total 80 marks plus 20 marks MCQs. So read any book, just follow the MCI competencies and your university syllabus.
So what I understand from CBME is that it focuses on training students in communicating effectively with the patient, how to handle a patient in a sensitive situation, how to offer care, how to offer consent, etc. It also focuses on the clinical exposure in first year itself. There is a foundation course in the first month of MBBS itself where they prepare the students for a smooth transition into the MBBS. MBBS is a great big world in itself, and the students come from different regions, different languages, different cultures. For them to get bonded with each other, to understand the subject, to understand the premises, the college, and to get adjusted to all of it is the goal of that foundation course. Lastly, this CBME curriculum focuses on the horizontal and vertical integration of various subjects all through the MBBS curriculum. All in all, the goal of this curriculum is to make an Indian medical graduate adapted and skillful at the village level for treating patients with limited resources using international standards of knowledge. Now, for the newbies of the MBBS life, let's get a brief overview of how everything is going to be. The MBBS is divided into 3 phases according to the CBME curriculum. Phase 1 consists of 13 months. 1 month will be your foundation course and 12 months will be your first year subjects, anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. Phase 2 consists of 11 months, which includes the second year subjects, pharmacology, pathology, microbiology and a part of PSM. Phase 3 consists of 2 parts. Part 1 is of 12 months. It consists of the third year minor, or what you call the third year subjects. They are ENT, ophthalmology, PSM and forensic medicine. Phase 3 part 2 consists of your final year subjects, which is the longest, 14 months. The subjects are medicine, pediatrics, psychiatry, dermatology, surgery, orthopedics, anesthesia, obstetrics and gynecology and radiology. That's 9 subjects. Afterwards, you will have to face the next one exam, which will be a MCQ based theory exam held before the internship. After the exam, if you qualify, you will have a 1 year of internship. After internship for the medical degree, you will have to face next 2 exams, which will be a completely practical based exam. That is the brief overview of how your life in MBBS is going to be. To understand this competency based curriculum in depth, we need to understand the competency table. There are a lot of things given in the competency table, but for us, the most important things are 2. First, domains of learning, which are 4. Knowledge, skill, attitude and communication. The knowledge you will get from the textbooks, the skills you will get from practicals, and attitude and communication is what you will get from clinical exposure in postings. Secondly, you have to understand the levels of competency. Loosely translated, it is just how important a particular topic is going to be for your exams. For example, the no's are very important and usually asked in BAQ exams. They are usually enumerate or describe type questions. The know-hows are a little less important but nonetheless can be asked in exam as LCQ and LAQ. The show-hows are the practical aspects of the know-hows, basically how you will show a particular sign or how will you test something. Lastly, the performance, which is done either under supervision or independently, is to test if you can apply the knowledge and skills you learn in a practical scenario, analyze it and produce independent results of your own. Lastly, in the curriculum, there are a lot of important topics given according to the subject like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, what to read, how much time to give, what are the important points in that. I suggest you to go through the curriculum at least once and mark all those important topics in your textbooks. The link is in the description. Now let's come to hardcore first year. Remember friends, first year is like eating an ice cream. If you eat too fast, you'll get a brain freeze. If you eat too slow, the ice cream will melt away. Have a balance between adjusting to the MBBS life and studying for the first year. As you know, first year has 3 subjects: anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. Let's cover them one by one. First, anatomy. The standard book that I use for anatomy are B.D. Chaurasia and Vishram Singh. Here I have B.D. Chaurasia. I have used the PDF of Vishram Singh. The reference book for anatomy is Gray's Anatomy for students. Okay, don't use the Gray's Papa edition or the big edition. Use the student edition. I used B.D. Chaurasia as a textbook. Right after you enter your MBBS college, I suggest you to read this little book. This little buddy is B.D. Chaurasia Handbook of Anatomy. It has all the specific terms like anterior, posterior, proximal, distal, and such basics which are needed for anatomy in simplified manner. This will help you create a foundation for your MBBS. Next is upper limb. Usually all the colleges are taught upper limb first. For upper limb, there is B.D. Chaurasia Part 1. When you are reading anatomy, make sure you draw and practice a lot of diagrams given in the book or some online sources that you prefer. Drawing diagrams will help you understand the relationships from one organ to other and not just mug them. It will also help you to imagine all the structures present inside our body properly. One more suggestion I have for you is that you mark your book with pens, with pencils, with highlighter, whatever you want. Just mark it up all over. Pages, diagrams, everywhere. Write something, maybe the important question, important word, something that you don't understand, definition, etc. That way you will get familiar with the book and it won't be that scary. Just like that, read BDC 2, 3 and 4. It's a cute book, it shouldn't take long. Along with the BDC, you get these charts. I frankly never used these charts, but apparently they are very useful to learn the nerves, the arteries, the veins, etc. There are 3 more books that you need in anatomy as a subject. First is for histology. I used Inderveer Singh textbook of histology. Second, embryology. Again, I used Inderveer Singh textbook of embryology. And thirdly, I used a different book for clinical neuroanatomy called Vishram Singh Clinical Neuroanatomy. That was all for my anatomy in first year. As for practicals, in the dissection hall, you will be asked to get a Cunningham. Cunningham is like a dissection manual. You read through this and you perform the dissection. It will help you get a clear-cut approach to the organs and understand all its relationship in situ inside the body itself. At least in Cunningham, you should read all the procedures of how to dissect an organ. Don't learn them, read and perform them on the body. Also go through all of its diagrams, they are world class. One last weapon that you can use in anatomy is the Atlas of Anatomy. I usually prefer PDF of atlases as they are very bulky books. I used Gray's Atlas of Anatomy, but I've heard that Netter's is also good. That settles the anatomy for you. Now let's come to physiology. The books I recommend for physiology are the standard book of Guyton and the Indian versions Sembulingam and Ekejen. I read Guyton and a part of Sembulingam as well. If you are reading Guyton, it will be hard to retain and reproduce in your MBBS theory exams. So I suggest you to buy V.D. Joshi Physiology Prep Manual for undergraduates. It has all the points in Guyton in a question answer format, point to point, which you can actually reproduce and recorrect in the exams. If you are using Sembulingam, read it thoroughly and learn all the tables and diagrams. In physiology, the diagrams given in Guyton are standard and important. Even if you are using some other books, I urge you to at least go through these diagrams. That will help you in your next exam preparation. Now let's come to biochemistry. Biochemistry has a lot of cycles. The standard book for biochemistry are Satyanarayan Vasudevan. I myself use Satyanarayan. In Satyanarayan, for biochemistry, I practice the cycles and it's basically mugging them up. But you can easily do it if you understand how the process occurs in our body. Like glycogen is broken down when you need sugar and glycogen is made when you have sugar. It's pretty simple. Just try to understand and discern the topic on your own, analyze it and apply it in the normal physiology and you will get it. That's all about first year in a gist. Now let's answer some of your questions. Let's get started with the questions. First question is, how to manage studies with the feeling of being in medical college? The feeling of being in medical college is that of pride and honor, but also desperation and hopes. You go into a completely new environment, maybe in hostel, maybe in room, maybe you are a localite. Still, a completely new adventure begins in your life. It's a phase of your life that you can never be prepared for. I suggest you to keep a balance between your social life and your studies. You cannot do too much studies because that will hamper your social life and that will decrease your confidence. And of course, too much of social life will just cause you to drop in the studies. In medical college, you need a small group of friends that you can trust, go out, study with, anything. For me, it's the day out. I hope you find yours soon. Second question, IMP से पास हो जाएंगे क्या? अरे भाई, IMP से पक्का पास हो जाएंगे. Third question, clinical correlation is very difficult, especially in the subject of for biochemistry. What to do? Friends, you are still in the first year. You are hardly going to go through these 3 subjects. There are total 19 subjects in the full MBBS curriculum, which is of 4.5 years. You don't need to start the clinical integration right off the way from first year. Get a little used to this curriculum. In second year, you'll come to know that pharmacology and pathology are linked to physiology. In the third year, you will come to know that surgery is just anatomy and medicine 25% is just physiology. For biochemistry, it is related to pediatrics, the metabolic diseases and stuff. You will get to know them eventually, step by step. Don't jump at it, okay? Take your time to understand the subject in the first year first. That's your main goal, to understand and accept it as a whole. Next question, is DAMS or Marrow or any other platform necessary for the first year? I'll say it's your own choice. How to study first year on online platform? With the pandemic going on, it's really hard for the 2020 batch to study the first year, especially because they hardly had any classes. I hope the colleges will begin soon, but until then, I suggest you to go through the YouTube videos and of course the lectures that the teachers uploaded for you. Read through the textbook, mark the stuff that you did not understand. Take help from seniors, your friends. Just try to slowly understand it. If you can't, it's fine. There are teachers for your help on YouTube, in your college, everywhere. If you ask me, I suggest for anatomy, use animation videos available on YouTube. For physiology, use Indian author books like Sembulingam and A.K. Jain for understanding. And for biochemistry, just practice the cycles. What are the online resources for the first year? I used only one online resource in first year and that is YouTube. Study process to prepare for the exams. The first year MBBS will be 12 months long for you. Invest the first 9 months in understanding the subject and trying to read all the standard books completely. In the last 3 months, I want you to mark all the IMP questions given in your CBME curriculum as well as the previous year questions you find in Unique or Bhalani books. Afterwards, in the last 3 months, I want you to read only those questions or those topics again and again till the day of exam. That is how I studied in the first year. Of course, it includes a lot of written practice as well. You can talk. How to grasp physiology better in the first grade? If you want to grasp physiology better, understand the diagrams. That's the best way out of it. Are USMLE resources for upcoming exam worth it? I say some of the USMLE resources are worth it for the upcoming exam, but not all. How to study first year on daily basis? On daily basis, I want you to touch all the 3 subjects at least once. Whatever you are taught in college, in lectures, come back, read all through those topics. If they are important, make notes of them. That's pretty much all. Just make sure you touch all the 3 subjects every day and the rest of the time you can enjoy. A daily study of 6 hours is more than enough in first year if you do it daily without break. How to finish syllabus in 6 months. It is fairly easy to finish the syllabus in 6 months, but if you are getting difficulty in it, I suggest you to consult a senior or maybe by yourself. Mark all the IMP topics given in the book of Bhalani and Unique and also the CBME pattern. That way you will know what to read and what to skip in a standard book or in the book that you refer, and you will be able to complete the syllabus quickly. Of course, practice a lot of diagrams in anatomy, diagrams in physiology and cycles in biochemistry. That is the gist of it. Head and neck anatomy is messed up. Guide please. Boy, what do you know? My own head and neck anatomy was pretty messed up. The cranial nerves, the names, the roots, the foramen of the base of the skull. It was all a mess when I read it for... I am even stuttering now. That's how much I feared it. It was all a mess when I read it for the first time. As for that, I suggest you to go through the YouTube videos of the courses of the nerves. Once you understand that, it will be easy for you to understand and learn the foramen. For example, there are 3 nerves supplying the eyes. All the 3 nerves should go to the eyes, right? So all of them will go from the same foramen from the anterior part of the base of the skull. For the nerves that will supply the ears, they will go from the middle of the skull, and for the nerves that will go behind with the medulla, they will go from the posterior part. Try to correlate it with the general stuff that you see and understand. It will be difficult, but you will get it slowly and surely. Should we stick to Bhalani or Unique and everything in it, or anything could be asked? Of course, everything can be asked in the exam, but Bhalani and Unique and the CBME pattern IMPs that are given in your course give a context of what is important for the exam. I suggest you to stick to that. Once you are finished, you can go to all the ways you want. That way you will be sure that at least you can attempt the 80% questions in your exam. Last few questions are related to the post I made on Instagram yesterday. Most of them are asking if I can finish anatomy in 1 week. Friends, you need to know that revising anatomy in 1 week is easy, but learning anatomy from the scratch in 1 week is in no way possible. You will need at least 3 to 4 months to learn any subject from the scratch. If you ask me for a rough schedule to revise anatomy in 7 days, I'll say give 1 day for upper limb, 1 day for lower limb, 1 day for thorax. Head and neck will need 2 days and neuroanatomy will need 1 or 1.5 days. The embryology and histology can be covered simultaneously. I hope that will help. So finally, we are done with the questions. By the way, I wrote a book on biochemistry. These are basically my handwritten notes. You can check it on Amazon. We are finally at the end of our video. If you are still here, I humbly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking to the end. I want you to bid you adieu with a little word of wisdom that my teacher once said to me. The big successes in life are cultivated from small daily habits. It may be just a little, like you read 1 page from a standard book like Guyton. For me, it is I will finish at least 1 lecture from 1 topic every day, even if it is too hard. As I put in one of my posts, these small daily habits can add up and make miracles. A square of 1 is just 1. 1 raised to the power 31 is still 1. But what happens when you add 1.1 to it? 1.1 raised to the power 31 is almost 20. That means if you do just 10% more than the others every day for a month, you will be 20 times better than them. Think about it. Small daily habits. Friends, videos like this take a lot of research and effort to make. I would like to thank Dr. Zambulkar sir and Dr. Nemade ma'am in helping me to make this video. Thank you sir, thank you ma'am. Friends, I will greatly appreciate if you will like the video and subscribe to my channel. This is Abhijit. See you around. Happy studying.